If you have anyone in your life who loves video games, I've just finished an audiobook that would be ideal for them, although it does hold a broader appeal as well. It's called Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. I'd heard a lot of people raving about this book, so I went into it with quite high expectations, which is never good when going into a book. I always think it's best to go in with low expectations and then be surprised. So I did find this book great fun and vastly entertaining, but maybe I wasn't quite so blown away by it as I might have been if I'd had lower expectations. It's definitely not a book for children though, so if you want a book that will appeal to children and teenagers who love video games, then I would recommend Skywake Invasion by Jamie Russell instead. The beginning sort of reminded me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, with a very abrupt, "Oh, sorry, your world is ending." It's a normal day on Earth, well, night, and then suddenly, bloop, all the buildings or anything with a roof gets flattened, and a lot of the population is killed instantly, apart from the people who were outside at the time, because everything on Earth, all the minerals, are being mined and taken away by an alien corporation. The surviving members of the human population are then given the choice to go into this game, this world dungeon, which is beneath the Earth and is this televised game show to the rest of the galaxy, the universe. It's live streamed across the civilized universe, and this is the corporation's real moneymaker, even more so than the minerals that they get from a planet, and they do this to lots of planets. So this dungeon crawler game show is 18 levels beneath the Earth, and it's like a video game, so there are 18 levels to this video game, and you go down and the human population is drastically getting whittled off each level. There are creatures and monsters to fight. There's so much more to it than that though, and the people who participate, their whole vision becomes like a screen in a video game with all these status bars with your health and your inventory and spells you can use and items and various stats and things that you can level up and skills that you can get better at. So humans are basically fighting for their lives for the entertainment of the rest of the universe. Our main characters are Carl and the cat Princess Donut. I won't say any more about the story because I don't want to spoil the book, but we're following them as they go through this game and are being televised, and they're gradually sort of finding out bits and pieces of the mystery about this alien corporation and the rest of the universe, which they of course know nothing about, so they are gleaning what they can from the little bits of information that they get. And they are also sometimes taken out of the game to appear on these alien chat shows, and I really enjoyed those bits. I found it similar to my experience of RPGs, role-playing games, and the bits that I enjoyed about those games are the same bits that I enjoy about this book, and the bits that I don't enjoy so much about those games are the bits that I didn't enjoy so much in this book. So for example, in the video game Final Fantasy, I always loved the narrative bits, the bits where you got to choose. So these bubbles would pop up with dialogue, and you could choose sometimes what answer those characters gave. And by choosing those answers, that could then completely alter the course of the game and the way the story went. And I loved that. I loved how your decisions could change the course of the whole game. What I didn't love were all the boring battles. In video games, you have to level up a lot, which involves fighting a lot of battles to gain experience points, and that gradually increases your skill level, and you have to do this in order to be able to win against bosses and things like that. So this book was great fun, but I didn't enjoy so much the bits where they were just having to level up and fight all these little creatures and monsters from the game. But I very much enjoyed all the mystery, the politics, and the bits that we're gleaning about the galaxy outside of the Earth. And it has a lot of humour, but it's definitely for adults, so there's lots of swearing and other things that would be inappropriate for children. But it's brought back a lot of happy memories of playing Final Fantasy 7 and 9 with my brothers. Those are the two Final Fantasies that I remember most. Final Fantasy 7 when I was about 12, 13 maybe, and Final Fantasy 9 must have been 15, 16, 17 age-ish. And a lot of the music from those games has been coming back to me. So Sephiroth and Voice from the Past, joining yours and mine. Bugenhugen. The chocobo races, the flying airship with a troop of people who were pretending to be actors but were actually robbing people. I specifically remember a sequence where they were saving a princess and pretending to be these actors and having to press on the PlayStation controller X0 square, etc. in order to perform this routine because they were pretending to be actors or dancers or something. And I remember all the choices that you had to make and the answers that Tifa had in conversations. I very much preferred Tifa to Eris, so I always chose the options that would favour Tifa or bring the story more towards Tifa than Eris. Tifa was this tough, scrappy character, and Eris was much more girly. She wore pink, and I was a tomboy, so of course I much preferred Tifa. But now, obviously, as an adult, I can recognise that as internalised sexism, internalised misogyny, because it was ingrained in us through society that pink and girliness were weak, lesser, and pathetic. And so you definitely did not want to be perceived as that. And so if you were a girl in the 90s, you definitely wanted to be tough, and you could never make a fuss or show your emotions. And even if you were really scared about something, you had to maintain a really calm facade because you didn't want to be thought of as pathetic. And it's very different from now, because we were all little scruffs in our t-shirts and shorts, and it was very much looked down upon to even think about your appearance. So on those days where you could wear your own clothes to school, we were all there in our t-shirts and shorts or t-shirts and jeans. I specifically remember one time when they had these smart black trousers on and a nice top or something, and I remember someone saying, "Where does she think she is? A catwalk?" So yes, very different from now, where even young children are thinking about skincare and makeup. Those sort of things never even crossed our minds. So yes, this book has sparked off all sorts of memories and interesting thoughts, and I can recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl as an entertaining read, and I definitely recommend the audiobook, as I imagine that's a very different experience from reading the actual physical book.